Fernando Alonso doesn't need the fastest car, because his brain is already lapping the grid. This guy has outsmarted race simulations, predicted rival mistakes before they made them, and landed podiums in cars that were never built for it. Believe me, it's not speed that wins him races. It's instinct, experience, and a level of race IQ the grid still can't figure out. Fernando Alonso is one of the most respected minds in Formula One, a two-time world champion whose journey started on a kart built by his father in a garage in Oviedo, Spain. He didn't come up with money or connections. He came up with grit and a brain wired for racing like it was physics. And early on, that brain made history. Alonso won back-to-back world titles in 2005 and 2006, ending Michael Schumacher's Ferrari dominance at just 24 years old. He didn't have the fastest car, but he beat the fastest team by using smart undercuts, fuel strategy, and relentless pressure to force mistakes. That wasn't a fluke. It was one of the clearest examples of a driver winning with intelligence over machinery. And in 2023, at 42 years old, he proved he's still smarter than half the grid. Driving an Aston Martin that was around 7/10 slower per lap than Red Bull, Alonso still grabbed 6 podiums in the first 12 races. No miracle engine, no DRS magic, just a masterclass in racecraft, where Alonso's brain delivered what the car simply couldn't. He didn't win with straight-line speed. He outsmarted everyone with tire strategy, perfect pit timing, and relentless consistency, even when the car fell behind. That's not racing on speed, that's racing on IQ. And if you think that's impressive, buckle up. At the 2022 Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, Alonso was driving a midfield Alpine that had no business finishing near the front. The team's own simulation had him pegged for 9 pesos, a realistic outcome based on pace and track position. But when a virtual safety car appeared mid-race, Alonso overruled the pit wall and made an early stop entirely on his own call. Unbelievable. That single decision gained him over 12 seconds and moved him up to P6, with no crashes, no safety car luck, and no tire advantage. It wasn't a guess. It was a precise, real-time decision grounded in experience. He processed the gaps, saw the traffic window, and reacted faster than the model running real-time data for the entire team. While most drivers rely on strategy calls from engineers, Alonso reads the race in motion and executes before the software even catches up. That's exactly how he beats faster cars. Not with power, but with better decisions, faster thinking, and a level of race awareness that makes him more reliable than the simulation itself. And that wasn't a one-off, because less than a year later, he pulled off another masterclass, this time in the most unpredictable conditions Formula One can offer: rain at Monaco. Midway through the 2023 Monaco Grand Prix, light rain began falling on parts of the circuit, just enough to trigger chaos across the grid. And here confusion took over. Drivers hesitated, teams misjudged the conditions, and tire strategy collapsed under pressure. But Alonso, he assessed the grip, stayed out on slicks for one more lap, and avoided the early panic that ruined so many strategies. By the time the track was ready for intermediates, he made the switch without losing ground, securing P2 behind Verstappen in a car that had no right being that close. His post-race explanation was simple. The track was 99% dry on his in-lap. While others were reacting emotionally to weather updates, Alonso didn't just survive the storm, he managed it. That's what happens when your brain processes changing conditions faster than the sensors do. And that level of awareness isn't just a recent development. Across more than 2 decades in Formula One, Alonso has scored 32 race wins and 106 podiums, often in cars that weren't dominant. His results span title-winning machines, midfield battles, and now an Aston Martin project that started as an underdog. Through every era, the one thing that stayed consistent is his ability to adapt, calculate, and turn limited machinery into serious results. And when it's not strategy or weather, Alonso still finds ways to win. Because in wheel-to-wheel racing, he plays a completely different game. While most drivers focus on overtaking as quickly as possible, Alonso takes a different approach. He studies the driver in front, waits for patterns to repeat, and then chooses the exact moment when the move will do the most damage. In the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, he pressured Sergio Perez without forcing the issue, waited until Perez compromised his own cornering rhythm, and then passed cleanly without wasting tires or track position. This is where Alonso's intelligence shows in real time. He doesn't just react to the car ahead, he shapes their behavior. By controlling pace, spacing, and timing, he forces opponents into uncomfortable decisions. And that's exactly how he keeps outperforming faster drivers without needing the fastest car. You ever wonder why Alonso always seems to benefit from safety cars? It's not luck. It's because he plans for them before they even happen. Most drivers react when the yellow flag comes out. Alonso's already adjusted his pace, moved into clean air, and put himself exactly where the advantage is going to be. In races like Canada 2022 and Australia 2023, while others got stuck in traffic or missed the pit window, he jumped ahead without needing to overtake a single car on track. He's even said it himself. Today's cars perform better at 90% than flat out, and he uses that to stay flexible, especially during long runs. He understands that staying slightly under the limit not only protects the tires, but also gives him flexibility when the race suddenly changes. That balance between patience and precision is what allows him to strike when others are still reacting. And that comes from more than just instinct. It comes from experience no one else on the grid can match. Alonso has started from Formula One and did over 400 Grand Prix, more than any driver in F1 history, and holds the record for the most classified finishes. And now, at 43, he's not just staying competitive, he's using a mental library built over 2 decades of racing. And what really sets him apart is this: he doesn't just outthink drivers, he outthinks the data they rely on. In a sport run by engineers, algorithms, and live telemetry, he still reads the race better than most strategists on the pit wall. While others wait for instructions, Alonso makes the call himself, adjusting tire strategy, timing undercuts, and managing race pace without needing to be told. Honestly, that's the difference. He doesn't just follow the plan, he rewrites it mid-race, and when everything goes off script, that's when he's at his best. Because in a car that isn't the fastest, you can't afford to wait, and Alonso never does. And that's exactly how you win without the fastest car, by taking control when others are still waiting for instructions. And if you think this kind of awareness only works in Formula One, think again. Alonso has also conquered some of the most demanding races in the world, winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice, taking the World Endurance Championship title, and even claiming victory at the 24 Hours of Daytona. These races aren't about pace, they're about strategy, timing, and reading the race as it unfolds hour by hour. Just like in F1, Alonso's intelligence gave him the edge, because no matter the format, he knows how to win without the best car. Let's be real, he's 43, and racing against drivers half his age in teams with double the budget, and yet he's still consistently outperforming expectations. Not because the car is perfect, but because Alonso brings something no simulator, no software, and no rookie can replicate: experience sharpened by intelligence. He knows when to push, when to wait, when to take risks, and when to let others destroy their own race. And this isn't about nostalgia or what he did in 2005 or 2012. It's about what he's doing right now, turning midfield cars into podium threats and proving that race IQ can still beat raw speed. And in modern F1, where the margins are tiny and mistakes are brutal, that kind of thinking is exactly what keeps him dangerous. Alonso proves you don't need the fastest car when you've got the sharpest mind. If that's the kind of racing you respect, Make sure to subscribe for more.